I've had about 40 years to think about stewardship, from when I came into my own faith as a college student to now. Actually, going even further back, I have childhood memories of helping to stuff envelopes when my father was running his church's stewardship campaign. So maybe when I led the St. John's stewardship team for a number of years, it was actually in my DNA. So anyway, I'm very familiar with the funny dichotomy that we in the church bump into every year at this time. The church needs money to run, so we need to fundraise. There's always the attitude that just wants answers to, how much do we need, and how much is my fair share? But more importantly, and much more interestingly, God wants us to grow in our faith. And it turns out that the whole area of our feelings about and attitudes to money and giving are really fruitful places for that growth to happen. When I came to faith as a student, it was in a church that was very clear about tithing, giving 10% of what you earned back to God. So that's what I, and then Jim and I, have always done, sometimes a bit more. When you put a number on it, it's easy to perceive that as a kind of sterile works religion. But somehow that isn't how it has worked out. As humans, we deal almost daily with some fear of not enoughness, whether that's material or personal. And of course, our capitalist system, overlaid with American individualism, tries hard to persuade us that we need or even deserve more, and that more stuff or more financial security is the way to happiness. I'm certainly not immune to that. But on the other side, the reality is that our only true security is as a child of God. And there's no doubt that God blesses our stepping out in faith, trusting him, and stretching our faith muscles. I don't mean in some sort of quid pro quo, but there's lots of evidence that practicing both gratitude and giving are good for us and make us happier, may even make us live longer. So if you're new to this journey, I encourage you to take a bigger step than you have before. And if you've been on it for a while, and this is advice to myself, look back at everything that God has meant to you and means to you. Make sure you aren't unthinkingly doing what you've always done, and give with gratitude.